And we're live. We're recording. Cool. All right. Right on. So first test of the...
Copy.
Oh, look at that. It's all above in each other. That's perfect.
Yeah, no, this is going to be great.
Oh, maybe I better open my map.
Yep. So I'm going to go look and see how it looks on Discord. All right, looks good. Yeah, so we get to watch and commentate and see how things go.
Where's the 2nd Infantry Squad Leader?
You want to turn down your volume
here, spawning
a little
where?
bit.
Middle HQ.
It's still pretty loud.
10 seconds in.
Oh, good. Rollins, what's the hold up?
We can even turn the voice off, honestly. I think it's fine too.
We're live right off, right, Rob?
Correct, we are live.
Spawning the next wave of trucks in 5 seconds.
Alright, you turn the voice down to like 10.
After that, mid coming in. Another transport north.
Alright, cool. So we can watch both maps simultaneously now through the Discord.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, let's.
So see what we got. We got...
It's like a little too small for me to see, like without leaning in and staring at my screen.
Yeah. We'll have to...
But I mean, that's all right.
Yeah, I think it's probably about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, so Germans are definitely off to a better start to get to the Scar. No surprise there.
Yep. The it looks like the U.S. is a little bit slow. Man, they already have their supply truck already has their garrison built, and they're trucking. I'm going to actually hover over and see what squad that is.
Quick question.
So we got Smith and Mitchelson getting after it.
Do you want to ask one?
I wonder if I can like just watch your screen. Can I?
A2, is that
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because you're projecting both.
Yeah, we're doing both. That's okay.
That's okay. But since I have my screen here on the one monitor, if I could make your other one big, that'd be perfect.
Right.
But whatevs.
Wow. I think the German side's going to have quite the advantage here for the first cap.
That's a weird place for that first garrison, though. Right?
I think that was just a desperate, like, just as quick as possible kind of move.
But wouldn't they push it a little further in through the G line? Like, I mean, they're already crushing it, so maybe it doesn't matter. But if it was me, I probably would have put it in the left side of that G line, closer to the strong point.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Let's see how it pans out.
I mean, the U.S. is just, what are they, just giving in on the Scar? They decided to do Weybach?
They didn't even use their vehicles.
They didn't even try.
The supplies
Oh.
near your OP.
Yeah.
It's
Roger.
gonna be interesting to see if they can recover.
We got Holland Shed is in control of the U.S.
It is Lombardi's.
Lombardi.
So we got Lombardi versus Smith, private versus major. Pretty cool actually going on. But what's interesting too is you can see that northern garrison's about to get lit up by a Stuart. They're literally gonna run right into it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That could go either way, though, because Stuart's not that hard to kill.
Yeah, if they have the AT. Oh, they just drove right past it.
Yeah, they didn't see it. Oh, why did he get out of the tank? Don't do that.
I think they
Oh,
saw
maybe
it.
he did see
They're
it.
going to destroy it. He's going to get out and pop it.
It only takes 5 seconds to do it, yeah.
So
Good
it seems
move,
like,
Stuart.
yeah, it looks like
Who's that? That's West and Satella. They know what's up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, who's coming back? Who's able for? They must have got West because Satella's leaving without him.
User left your channel.
Didn't work out. They got him. It takes a long time to. Sorry, Wolf. Takes a long time to take down those garrisons when they're 2 lines back like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they. I mean, it's tough right now. The other team's gonna have quite
You
the
guys clear up there, Alpha?
quite.
They
the
could have blown
uphill.
it up. That's the thing.
Can you destroy it with tank rounds?
That's my understanding. That's what I've been told.
I think
You can definitely
Artillery
blow them up with
can.
AT. You can blow them up with Bazooka too.
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
Yeah, it's interesting too how long they'll stay locked out. They'll stay locked out for like extra long.
Yeah, especially if you die there and you just refuse to redeploy.
So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because it seems like Lombardi had them take a very defensive approach.
They don't have any wide garrisons right now. I guess that's probably being worked on
Yeah.
because the Foxes move.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a good teaching point because already so far behind the 8 ball, it's going to be really hard to recover that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
And the
imagine if you're
garrison-
Smith right now, who just threw in a recon plane up and he sees only one dude even within a mile of the scar.
And they've got that garrison in George 3, so they have a place to push from right now. There's going to be a big firefight at the river.
Yep. And that's a tough crossing.
That is a tough crossing. Although Dog has already managed it. That is... Those are my boys, aren't they? I probably shouldn't zoom.
Let's see. Yeah. I mean, it's just a recon squad up there, but trying to make that cross. There's a lot of buildings and such as well.
I mean, a sniper up there could shut that bridge down pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
They're really good overwatch on that bridge.
yeah, that's like prime recon usage right there, just to shut down that entire crossing.
Okay, meanwhile, Huber's got a good garrison going for attacking the Scar. And Germans haven't really come on very strong after that initial attack.
Yeah, they're just kind of holding, which I can understand. I mean, now right now an airhead, that would be like devastating.
Well, they got a garrison at Weber, or at Jacobs, and a garrison at Scar, and one in G3, and that's it. Right.
Yeah, but Smith is coming up with another supply truck, I believe. Let me see who that is. They're probably gonna get some more garrisons up. Or Dalton. Yeah, good move, Dalton. Getting that supply truck up there.
Alpha Walker is accurate.
It's gonna be ready to go. And they're already calling out that infantry to the north, so really, really good play on their part.
I mean, but I don't see that the Germans have like a move forward right now. They have some work to do to get, because Americans are wrapping around a little bit on the north. They got a good presence on the directly to the west.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how this goes too, because I'm such a fan of loading up the box, and it seems like right now, if I'm betting money, I'd much prefer it to be in the German side because they're where they're supposed to be, right? Oh, they're maximizing their presence in the zone that's capturable, where the U.S. is in no man's land.
Yeah, they don't have like a single body in either zone, except I guess a few in the Scar zone, but they're not taking that anytime soon.
Yeah. The other notable difference is you can see the German side. They have markers up. They're very accurate to showing exactly where their infantry presence coming in, and as opposed to the U.S. side, it's quite barren.
They've marked the tank, and that's it. Yeah.
We also have to. I also want to occasionally tab just so we can keep track of the time too. And also, I think it'd be cool to, before we flip, we can look at scores.
Tank's in a bit of trouble.
Right.
And a light vehicle nearby.
Pop these open right now so we can do that.
Yeah, just like periodically check the score so people can see kind of, and it can be quick because people can just pause the video.
There's like a hotkey that pops them open where everything's open instead of closed, right? Because
I find that if I tab, sometimes I tab and they're all closed. Sometimes I tab and they're all open.
Oh,
it's like
it seems to vary. It goes back and forth literally, like closed, open, closed, open.
Well, I think what it does is it's like closed, or sorry, it does open, and then it does whatever you've been clicking.
Right.
So it's like one is the saved and one is all open, which is pretty interesting.
That's useful.
So I think this is a good teaching moment too. So if I'm Smith, and you're getting very little resistance, if any, on the point, one, getting that quick movement from an airhead. This is when we want to use it, right?
Yeah. Look at this supply drop in the AT gun they've put up on the U.S. side across from the Scar. That interests me.
That could be quite devastating. It looks like they've actually been taking care of the tanks. Both teams seem to have lost both their tanks. But I also like what they did on the U.S. side. See how they've established those garrisons in the south. So now they have flanking pressure. So if they do try to push south, they do have those fallback lines. You know, whereas the U.S. has their 2 garrisons that they're working off of.
Yeah, Weybach especially is really fragile. Like one garrison and it's in the strong point. Like right now, the Germans aren't going to capitalize, but one guy in there could really screw up the
For
US.
sure. And you can also see Baker Mitchelson spotting out the 1 garrison for the attack. Man, that's fantastic. See, that makes all the difference, right? If you can actually identify and sense that pressure, sense where that garrison is, because he can't get direct eyes on it, but he's made that call out. So that's a very high level play from Mitchelson.
You know what the Germans should do right now is an airhead behind Weybach.
All day. That would be huge. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that northern pressure, though, is actually starting to pay off for the U.S.
Well, there's a lot of them up there.
Yeah, but all it takes is that 1 recon squad to do a sweeping action, and that could be challenging. But it seems like they're just guarding the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, they're on the move now. Look at them.
Yep, I guarantee you, supply drop, garrison, and there's the attacking pressure. First bombing run's coming.
That's right on top of that HE.
Yep, that's a good mark.
Oh, it's not quite though. Is it left? Is it north to south or east to west?
East to west.
Yeah. Goodbye.
That's gonna nuke that garrison, and they don't have their OPs, which is also gonna be challenging.
Dog is starting to make something happen though.
Yeah, and they're not really reacting. They only got 1 to 2 guys in that north. So if they hit that sweep, oh, and there you go. There's that recon plane.
Mm-hmm.
So follow that up with a bombing run, and they're in business.
Which they're about to.
Yep. Oh, they missed the garrison with the bombing run. Man, that was really close.
They didn't really get that many kills either.
Must be like some bunkers. Yep, there's that bombing run.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be interesting. This could be huge. And, all it would take right now though is you get Able in the zone to start capping.
If they just step across the line, that's all they'd have to do. There's no one there.
Yep, and they'll start to pressure.
It's like, do the bombs land first? Does the Able get across that line?
Yeah, and then it's gonna be, and then they're gonna be forced to throw people back.
Yeah, I mean, the Germans are spread out enough that they're not going to get wiped.
True.
But they're going to get hurt.
Their outposts somehow survived that bombing run, surprisingly. So let's see. Let me do a time check. So yeah, we still got quite a bit.
So Abel's there, but command is back to Weybach, which is the only reason it's not turning yet.
And this is an interesting move. It looks like Abel's going to actually try to push south and try to help on the defense. And little do they know, all they would need to do is go right to the strong point, and they're going to be forced to pressure. I love this northern attack, though. I think this delaying action that Lombardi played for, like let them have the beginning, we're going to flank and take the north. It seems to be paying dividends. As long as they can keep those OPs, the Scar's going to be in trouble. You can see their only garrisons lighting up, their OPs are lighting up. It's danger time for them. Man, it is really fun to kind of watch these in live.
The fact that we haven't been recording every single match we do drives me nuts because there's so much to learn.
Yeah, it's just tough because it forces 2 people to try to sit back and watch. But honestly, it's quite entertaining to see.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a hardship for me.
So it's interesting that who's defending? So they got a couple guys in the zone. Oh, they're building nodes up. That's what it is. That's the only reason it's not flipping right now. But this is also a good teaching moment.
Lombardi, right?
Yeah. But this
if they go in there and zap Lombardi, it's over.
Yep. This is also a good teaching moment, right? Like, send the recon to do, just check out the zone.
Yeah.
See what they got going on. Because you do that, you're gonna force one of those squads to pull off the attack. Oh, it looks like Dog just had looks like one of those northern flanking squads that just lost their OP. Oh no, he just placed another one.
Oh,
it's in danger though.
High stakes though.
Very high stakes. He's got armor on top of him. But that's the challenge, you bank on that large flank. Once that OP's gone, you're done.
Yeah, I think I don't know. So there are times when it's worth that risk, but
Yeah, and it seems like that attack is snuffed out, and that's the big gamble, right? You'd spend all that time flanking through the north, and all it takes is that one step on the OP, and it hurts. But it looks like Dog's been able to reestablish.
yeah. The question is, does Germany know that they're there?
There's
Look at that
no-
truck is going right up on them.
Yep, and it looks like no callouts, no markers, so it looks like they might be able to sneak through.
They're getting out of the truck. There's also a, I can't quite see because my map is tiny. Is there a tank there?
Yeah, we got.
Yeah,
let's
it's
see.
marked.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
boy.
there they go. They got it's a solo tank though. It's
I
just
got enemy
Cass.
infantry on echo marker behind us.
And they're making that call out for that
Near
infantry.
the tank.
And they're
Uh-huh.
that's bold.
We've got 8.
They're gonna have to see how they react to that.
There's not enough garrisons from either team right now.
Yeah, well we got 2 garrisons, 3 garrisons. Oh, there you go. There's the cap. Looks like Abel's starting to make a move. So this is the thing. What are they
Mhm.
gonna do? Are they gonna
And-
panic or
Yeah,
what?
can Lombardi jump in there and kill that guy? That's yes. No, he can't.
Oh, and they lost the garrison. That's tough because now how are they gonna get back?
Yeah.
And here comes the
It's a
airhead.
long run.
Yep, and they're sending the airhead for the killer. Yeah, this is gonna. The U.S. is gonna have some trouble here, and it looks like all their.
They got to start thinking about garrisons around reserve now. Not that they're actually in danger, but they should be thinking about it.
Yep. And that's crazy. That's literally Smith all by himself just walked in there, killed Lombardi, took the garrison, and it seems like they're a little bit slow to respond. But I'm curious to see if they use that airhead because we've yet to see any spawn in. Oh, there it is.
They will.
And Dog,
That's too juicy.
yeah, that's going to be the cap. I mean, Dog, give them credit. They held their outposts. They got in behind. They're going to put pressure. They're knocking the garrison. Like, if everyone else was able to get back and defend, Dog would capitalize here. I bet you they capture the Scar. They're about to wipe all their spawns. The Germans aren't reacting because they're all in on the cap, but...
Yeah, it's a little bit tunnel vision right now, though. These guys want that attack they've been working so hard for, but they can't make it happen right now.
Yep.
Dog can even leave his OP up and just try to get back, try to help out, and then come back to it if it's still there.
Yeah. So I think this is another good teaching point of the importance of having those backup garrisons.
Germany didn't even deploy that many people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're going to cap.
Well, there's no counter though, right?
Guys, I got
I mean,
coming down, so
Bravo and Fox are getting in there.
I don't think
It's
it's
going to be
gonna
close.
enough.
Nope. It's all over. Ooh,
So they're gonna have to.
out.
Now the question is though, are they gonna be able to sustain? Because they didn't get a big sellout on that. On their
No,
airhead.
they're not. The airhead's gone. There's only like 3 or 4 Germans there.
You know, they got the commander though.
Oh, and I forgot. They actually can't attack reserve except for, I guess the recon could have.
Yeah. So just for people watching, the way we're running the rules for this tournament is both teams are only going to fight over the 3 middle points, but the recon can go into those last 2 HQ sectors.
Also, for people watching, Mix has kind of forgotten that he's a public voice right now. So sorry, I'm eating peanuts.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
No, the reaction maybe could have been a little faster to prevent the cap, but I think the damage is going to be limited. You know, there's no way the Germans are going to hold.
Really, this is an opportunity for Germany to get its defense and its offense set up. They should be building garrisons around the Scar.
Yep, and there
And
goes
then
their
the US line.
first garrison. Yeah, if I'm Lombardi right now too, and I don't play this way. I'm very conservative, but a more brazen commander probably would take this cap and just drop your airhead right behind the Scar.
That actually is a good idea.
You know, while they're trying to, because it's a flux.
They have the
moment.
resources.
Yep, it's a moment of flux, so you can maybe get away with it.
A lot of times when you lose a strong point, it's an opportunity.
Yeah, but it's always, you can see too, like how much of a major bummer it is. Like if your dog squad, we've all been there, where it's like just buy us like 2 more minutes and this is us, and that's the difference in these good games. You know, it's just it's a few minutes if that defense can hold or not. But I think the smart move by Germans right now is they're really just committed to the defense. They accept that they lost that attack. They're rebuilding their garrisons. They're resetting. They're getting their nodes up. I think that's a good move. You know, there's no reason to brazenly waste your time trying to win the lost cow.
No, for sure. But I'd like to see him get it. Oh, look, they're dropping supplies now in Fox 4.
Yep.
I'd like to see him have a garrison up north there to keep pressure up.
Well, it looks like
And-
Eagle just got one.
Yeah, there we go. And I'd like to see one south of Scar also for defense.
Yep. Just give you those angles to work.
I mean, if you have 3 garrisons around a strong point, that means you never have to stay dead that long.
Mm.
It gives you so many ways to keep jumping in there and keeping the enemy out.
I think this is another good learning point. So we can see this recon. It's been in the south for quite a bit now.
The Recon Vic?
Yeah, see that recon vehicle to the south. I'm curious how much they're getting out of that. So that's 3 guys who are trying to do.
Nice,
Is any of those guys a squad leader? Maybe they're trying to get some kind of sneaky back.
Oh, it's West, Enzatello, and Terlizzi. Terlizzi is. It could be West. No, they're all infantry, or all armor. Excuse me.
So 3-man recon vehicle. So
Yeah.
so they're gonna come in contact with a Tiger. That's gonna be interesting. Or Tiger, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they do. So it looks like the front on Weibach is actually developing. So there's about 0 offensive pressure that the U.S. can mount right now, just because the Germans are alright. Look at we got Easy already in the zone, threatening that garrison.
Americans definitely have the resources to do an airhead if they want. I guess the recon vehicle is trying to clear out Jacobs.
That could be effective. Get those nodes down.
I mean, there's a node, and the garrison is pinging now. Oh yeah, now they're on it. Question. Yep, and they see it. Somebody's getting out to deal with it.
See, I've always wondered how effective it is to, kind of play that one space back. I've always been kind of opposed to it, but maybe this will pull some attention off the front. We actually see now that the U.S. So literally one squad right now is out capping the bulk of the U.S. forces.
Because they're trying to get on offense again.
Yep. So that transition is proving very difficult. And really, this whole offense is one outpost.
Well, who's there? Able and Bravo? I can't quite read it. But Bravo doesn't have an OP. No, they do.
Yeah.
And then Abel's just recon up there, yeah. Although I bet that sniper's doing good work, because that's kind of an open area.
Recon's up. Looks like there's a big
Yeah,
group
they're
on
really
the south of Overlook.
bringing down the hammer.
I think one recon back, like when I play spotter, like if I was the US, I would have my OP north or south of Jacob's barn. So I can hit the scar from behind, or I can go, just double check to make sure they haven't got anything at Jacob's in case we want to roll them.
Yep.
And it's not in a direct line, so it's not going to get stumbled on.
Very good point. I mean, you can see now that recon vehicle got popped, but it looks like they probably will get the node. We see T's breaking it down. So,
Did it get popped? It's still up.
Oh, is that the recon? Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Staying still. It's about to have Overwatch over Scar, too.
Yeah.
And they have that Tiger spotted, but I think that mark's a little wrong. Not too wrong.
So they just threw a bombing run that probably isn't going to take out any spawns.
No.
So I mean, the U.S. has reestablished itself, but Echo is just little squad is just all over Weibach, and they're not able to seem to push them back. So that one squad army over there really giving the U.S. a hard time.
I mean, at the moment, it's just a one-man army, just about. Yeah, until they... Oh, but have a look at Fagnet's about to find their OP.
Yep, that's going to pretty much quash that whole advance, probably. So let's do a time check. So we got about 15 minutes left. I'm actually going to announce...
Meanwhile, Profeno's about to make a move into the Scar. Should I announce also? I should.
Let's see. So we're going to go to the 45-minute mark. So we're at about the 25 minutes left. Yeah.
Should we just wait? Let's just wait till 15 minutes. That
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah, that's a good
nice
call.
round.
Yeah, we're
Profeno's poking around in the scar.
Yep. So valiant effort, man, by Little Squad, but they were finally pushed off. And that's what's so challenging about attacking in this game. You make a great move, you got your outpost, you try and put pressure, you can see they're almost flipping it. But all it takes is you lose that outpost, and that's it. You know, the other team can suffer those losses and get their garrisons up and still be okay.
Well, I mean, that goes to your point about staying in the cap zones, because 2/3 of the American army was in EF 3-4 at that moment, roughly.
So,
or in CD 5-6.
Yeah. So really great recovery by the U.S. team, though. They were on their back foot. They recovered. They kicked everyone out of the zone. It's just
we're almost where we were 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. It's really a matter of whether or not they're gonna be able to figure out a way to capitalize or find a way to get around on the scar. And again, I think it's gonna be really interesting for those guys in this recon vehicle to kind of see just the perspective, because right now I think it's got to be so tough for them, right? Because you're moving, you're kind of trying not to get that one shot destroyed and trying to be effective. But the question becomes, how much can you really do?
Yep. Meanwhile, Terlizzi's been back there working on that node this whole time.
Yep. And that's where artillery
Which, by the
is
way,
huge.
who cares about nodes in a 45-minute game? Like, either way, you're just not going to run out, probably.
Yeah. So far from the test, we've been running out around. I would say we've probably run into some problems maybe within the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, especially for manpower, if you want to get one more manpower thing,
we lost visual.
You gotta work on that.
Jacobs from Maine right now. Let you know if I.
Exactly. That's where
I'd like to see the U.S. with a lot more in the way of garrisons right now. This is where it seems like their strategy is pretty weak right now.
Yeah.
Both teams, honestly.
We got 4 garrisons on the German side.
Oh, Germans. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a little hard for me to see from where I'm at.
Yeah. I think that's one thing we can always work on RSLs is we get so sucked into the fight, but it really should be a first instinct as a SL. It's like, okay, I'm spawning here. Can I get a garrison down? Is there a garrison anywhere near me? Let's get those things built. Because right now, if you're looking at the U.S., you got the 1 garrison. So outposting yourself.
As a squad lead, garrison building should be your first concern every time.
Yeah. But
shooting guys is about your 5th concern.
Yeah, but it's challenging. You get overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. That's why I'm always a big fan of using those fire teams. Letting the combat get dictated down to that one other go-getter in your squad. You can kind of get your guys moving, get your guys on point while you're really focusing up on the logistics aspect.
Big picture. U.S. would be well served to just have a 2-man squad focused on building garrisons right now, maybe.
Yeah, or just get that commander in that supply truck ripping around.
I mean, the truck's right there, too.
All right, let's do a time check. So, yeah, we're about almost at the 15-minute mark, so that means that the match will be over pretty much right on the first round will be over right at the 10 o'clock mark Eastern, so right on the hour, which is perfect.
Oh, recon vehicle finally goes down.
I mean, I would say they probably, when they review the video footage, they're gonna have to see what they got out of it, how they can improve, and what went well. I mean, they were able to knock down that back garrison, but you can see all it takes is the commander just brings up a new supply truck. 5 minutes back to where they were, as opposed
really,
to
what good is that garrison?
Yeah, where you get the recon vehicle, 3 guys in the back lines. I think, in fairness, I want to give credit here to the Germans, though, because they weren't distracted by it. It would have been really easy for them to take their Tiger off point, go do some harassment, just start chasing around that recon vehicle, and they just stayed firm. They're like, we're fine with playing on the point. If you guys want to harass our back onto the recon, that's all you.
Well, it's interesting because, the Scar, that big open valley, a good tank position can command so much territory. And the Germans are, doing that presumably, and the Americans had a recon vehicle, and now they're pulling out a light tank.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. If you look over by like Call Trail where they're actually trying to mount an attack right now, that Overwatch with the tank is brutal, and you can see they have that AT gun up, and they haven't really been able to get much out of it. You transition that AT gun to a tank or a 76. That's a big game changer there. But I like how we're switching it up, right? They're trying the light vehicles. They're trying the recon. Obviously, Tees has a game plan here that he wants to try some new things, see what he can do on the back line. And hopefully they can watch this later and take some notes, see what works, see what they could have done better, and maybe see how they could have really capitalized. But it's a really challenging position to be in such a lightly armored vehicle and make a big difference in the backline when you're facing enemy tanks.
I'm asking myself, look at Huber down here in the south getting ready to take that transport. Are they going to make a big southern flank on the Scar? Because that has not been tried at all.
I think that's a money move, right? You've been able to maintain your defense. You've been in a pretty good spot. It looks like they're trying to push the north now and the south. And the
Germans aren't really pushing the middle hard.
Yep. And they've all but given up on that Call Trail assault, which I think they're discovering now. It's just no bueno trying to get across that river.
Yeah.
So I really like this. This is going to be huge. I think this is the time to go bold, right? You got about 15 minutes left. You got to make a move, and it's time to put up or shut up. So I give credit to the U.S. to see what they can do. So we're at the 58-minute mark, so we got 13 minutes. So I'm going to send out that 13-minute warning. 13-minute warning, guys. 13 minutes till the end of the round. And then Mix, if you want, give a shout.
Yeah, 13 minutes. 13 minutes to the end of the round. Make it happen, US. Yeah, the question is, will Germany squeeze through the middle?
Yeah, it looks like they got one.
It looks like it seems like they're determined to hold on to the Scar at all costs to me.
Yeah, and I think that's the move. But you can see here, they got Dalton out in the front, giving some recon.
Moving on the point.
And we got Little again being a hero out here, putting pressure on the point with a lot of effect. And
is that Bravo up there? So that's infantry, right?
Yep, and they've been able to actually spot the garrison up north, but they missed the other back garrison, which is unfortunate. That's the one they really want to get rid of. Oh, I see. So it looks like what T's going for is it looks like these light tanks are really just trying to sweep the backline garrisons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we're starting to get cap pressure.
On Weber.
It seems like, yep, they more or less abandoned their defense, which could be costly. Because that garrison is now locked out, and their outpost is intro. Oh, and it's gone.
Oh boy.
So they really went all in on the assault here, and it looks like they're. Yeah.
Now they got to give it up.
So they sent both squads back into that transport truck and just left Weibach completely open. So that might be a good learning point as well to see that.
I mean, there's no reason Huber had to have 5 other guys with him while he made that move. He could have left them in Weibach, got his OP set, and then brought him in.
Yep. So that's another good learning point, maybe, because there's really nothing to contest this cap, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough recovery because unlike last time where they still had forces in the middle that could push, they've committed to the southern flank, but without any defense.
I mean, they have to redeploy, and they're not doing it.
Yeah. All this extra movement they're trying to do is probably not going to pay out. So credit to the Germans and Lil Squad just being persistent.
Mm-hmm.
Really
I'd like to see Bravo turn towards Weibach.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get it back. Because, they don't have to worry about reserve, really.
Yeah, especially with the way the tournament works. Short time. The difference between losing by 3 strong points and losing with 4 strong points and 3 strong points is huge. You lose this match. 2
also
points.
Look, Bravo's squad lead is leading the charge. He's about to lose his OP. If he goes down, where are they?
Yep. That's gonna be tough for sure.
Oh, he's a spotter. Never mind.
So we'll have to see if the U.S. is going to be able to recover, because that 1 point's going to be.
That's 1 point. That's the difference between we just got to do well the next map and we got to crush them the next map.
Yeah, and that's going to be definitely a bit of a challenge.
9 minutes though, plenty of time.
Yep.
The question is, do Germans really commit now to trying to hold that point?
I don't
And
see
say,
why
like,
they
let's
wouldn't,
get those
right?
4 points. Yeah, I mean, I don't really either. Maybe they leave a few forces to keep up a garrison near the scar, or just, bring somebody up from behind with the supply truck again to get a few fallback garrisons just in case.
Yep. And I think, again, this is another good learning point. You can see we got, we're still continuing this assault on the scar with 3 squads from the U.S. and you've only seen 1 squad redeploy back to Weibach. So that's another point of improvement, is really recognizing that you guys have worked so hard to get to that point, but unfortunately, how effective it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, like sucking it up and trying to make something happen for 10 minutes and then realizing you have to abandon it, having the maturity to say, like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is really important, but
Yeah.
it is tough.
What they might be trying to do is just have faith that, Charlie's
Yo, what's going on with reserve? You said just fine over the middle 3 points, yeah?
Yeah.
Rob, Mix, anyone?
Hold on, let me check. So let's see.
That's the rules, right? Just the middle 3 points?
Yeah, he moved out. It's fine.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
User left your channel.
So that's a good catch by Lombardi.
Mm-hmm. Also, we should make sure everybody understands that recon can, in fact, do that.
Yeah. So they've corrected the behavior, so good catch. So I think what they might be trying to do is just really capitalize on just say, okay, we got 1 squad back trying to capture Charlie, so putting their eggs that Charlie's gonna be able to make that cap on Weibach. But right now, if I'm but right now if I'm Germany, I'm just giving up the scar and just moving to Weibach, which is gonna kind of put the U.S. in a tough position because they've committed so many units there.
I mean, Abel's right there to cut off Charlie. They're not going to make it easy to get into Weibach.
Yep. I'm going to do a time check.
Charlie's OP is well positioned to attack Weibach, though.
This is true, but they're going to start cycling guys there. So we got 7 minutes.
Do we want to give them a 5-minute warning?
Yeah, I'm going to actually put a timer on just for 7 minutes so we keep track.
Probably be smart when we do this officially to get a timer set up right when we go, so it's giving us all the warnings.
Definitely.
Devastating bombing run from Germany.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, it looks like
that's a weird one, though.
Like, not really in the zone that you need it to be. And it looks like the U.S. is actually mounting somewhat of an assault. They've given up on their attack on Scar. We'll see.
Smart at this point. Smart.
No, they got that 6 minutes.
No OPs or anything. Taking it back.
Yeah, this is huge though. They get Weibach back, and it's such a morale boost to get that win right at the end of the match. So you're going into the second match saying, "Hey, this is winnable. We just need to capture that middle point." That's really a huge difference. And if they get that garrison down before that respawn occurs, I think it's going to be theirs. But look at
big if they're up there at all.
But I like what they did here with Abel. You can see Abel also got a garrison up to the north.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's the one I was looking at. Like, it's going to be a fight there.
Yep.
Oh, and here comes the 76.
Yeah, and this is the first, or I might eat my words, but I so far have seen a recon and a Stuart. I'm not sure what the first move was at the armor, but it seems like this may be the first heavy armor to bring into the fight. At least the first we've seen in a while. So we're right about the 5-minute mark.
Yeah. Do you think maybe Huber smells blood and he's getting set to put down an OP if they?
So that would be wise.
If they flip it.
All right, gonna give the 5-minute mark. 5-minute warning, guys. 5 minutes till this round is over.
5-minute warning.
Yeah, I really like what Huber's doing, actually. I think that could be the move. You know, don't completely give up on the attack, and maybe you can make a quick shift. Because the Germans put themselves in a really bad spot, or in potentially a really dangerous spot, because they all redeployed to try the whole Weybach. It's not going to happen.
Oh, and look at this. Look at this airhead that's going up too in Foxtrot 5.
Oh, this could be a huge shift of strength.
Yep.
And
if Huber gets his OP down,
and if Huber can get in there and knock that garrison out, and the Germans can't redeploy, that could be tough. However, that airhead happened to just land. That airhead's happening to land right on top of a Tiger. And it looks like the Germans are actually holding on to Weybach.
Oh, they probably reinforced.
Yeah. But now...
Bombing run, maybe? Change the complexion of things?
Yeah. And it's interesting because they sent that armor towards the Scar, and it seems like Weybach might be held by the Germans.
Yeah.
And that airhead's probably not going to be able to get a lot of value. Wow, what a great defensive move by the Germans. I like the transition.
Yeah, I think they thought they were going to make it happen and made some choices about where to send the tank and stuff that might not pan out in the end.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to the Germans here with that massive redeploy all in on Weybach to lock it down. We
got about 2.5 minutes. U.S. has got to start capping in the next 30 seconds or it's all over.
Yep. But again, we got round 2, and I guess and I think one can make the case that river is a very difficult crossing. So this map, maybe it has a little bit of favoritism towards the Germans. So we'll have to see what Lombardi and crew can do for round 2.
One garrison for the U.S.
Excuse me. So let's see what we got for time. So we're at the 2 minutes 40-second mark.
Northeast of Scar.
U.S. is taking it back. There's time to take it back, just.
Yeah.
Or just fall back on Scar, Fox.
But they got to give up on the Scar now. That's over. That can't happen.
Yep. That's been a tough holdout. I think
literally not time.
Yeah, I think the U.S. can win this cap race. They got 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, they got to do everything right. But it's looking good for them.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for them to be doing anything but trying to win this cap race right now.
Yeah, there's not enough time to do anything. So we still have that armor on the Scar. So, things like that, points that people can look at for improvement. You got 2 minutes left. You don't have enough time to cap the Scar. Just having that awareness
getting used to that
redeploy.
45-minute timer is a little bit of an adjustment.
For sure.
We got a minute 40.
Minute 40 left.
Minute 30-ish left, guys.
Yeah. The other thing I find interesting is that Tiger stayed on the Scar the whole time, and they've continuously been defending the Scar when it's not even a point that could be captured. So it seems like it's working out for the Germans. But
I mean, what are the Germans like? They're not going to move that Tiger now. It's got targets. It's doing some work.
Yeah.
It at least cuts off some of the southern, flank the U.S. could do on Weybach.
Yeah. So it's an interesting point, right? They never really allowed the U.S. to get comfortable on a potential counterattack. But what the U.S. was able to do was always suck out like 1 or 2 German squads to that backside. So we got...
If the U.S. just won't focus on the strong point, they keep trying to flank north. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons, but none of those reasons really matter.
So we got 40
seconds. I don't think they can do it. It's going to be real close, even if they just keep capping.
Yeah. All
right, you watch the timer. I'll watch the map.
Yep.
If it comes that close.
I'm going to do a quick just score look at.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So 10 seconds.
They can't do it.
Wow.
It's close. It's so close. If they had another 10
5,
seconds, they'd be able to.
4, 3, 2, 1.
2, 1. End X. Good try, U.S.
I'm going to flip the map.
Stand by for map flip.
So we'll go to our 5-minute intermission or so. Wow, what a match though. Really some back and forth action. It's gonna be interesting to see how they adjust for round 2. Alright, good first round, guys. At 1:25 game time, we'll be flipping the map to go to round 2.
Was that did you say that to the operation in general?
Yep. So
Or
if you
just
want to, you can
your
announce
side?
that to that side as well.
All right. Sorry, say again. What was the flip?
1:25 game time, we'll flip it back for round 2.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to flip again at 1:25 game time. Another 45 minutes. Best of luck.
So what do you think, Mix? If you're the U.S., what adjustments
Then
do you
you
think
just
you'd
kinda
be
see
trying
it's
to
like-
make right now?
Completely different
Garrisons.
story than what
Garrisons.
To me, I
actual-
feel. I mean, you saw there's a certain point.
Yeah, that's like
Germany had like 4 or 5 garrisons north to south. They could tell where the enemy was. They had angles. They
Yeah.
didn't spend as much time waiting to respawn. I think that you got to look at that first.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if I'm the U.S. too, I love the aggression. I think there was literally there was just a few seconds in that game where they almost had a cap, and they just couldn't quite get it. So if I'm the U.S. right now, if I'm that commander, I'm cheering them up. I'm saying, hey guys, we're in this. That was a game of inches. So let's.
Yeah, for sure. Like they lost 4-1, but it wasn't as close as that. It was a lot closer.
Yeah, they win that one cap race at the end. So kudos to the Germans for really holding it. You had Huber, you had that airhead. If that cap went their way, that could have been a quick flip.
Yeah,
Because
a
without
couple
that
of
Garrison,
adjustments, the US could have been winning this.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can bring to the table for this next round. But man, that's quite a good start.
So Rob, if we flip, everybody's going to be on the same side. Are we going to flip twice?
So when we flip, everyone's actually going to be on the opposite side that they were originally, right? Because
Nope, I was spectating.
So everyone. Oh, that's right. I got flipped twice. Thanks for reminding me. So I'm gonna flip it again, probably in about a minute, and then I'll just do a double map flip. Usually I do. So we can either do the double map flip right
User joined
right
your
now,
channel.
or I could do the double map flip a little later.
User left
Probably
your
should do it
channel.
immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's less confusing. But I mean, this time we are where we are. I'll just tell everybody it's a double map flip.
Yep. No, that's true. I forgot to do that, and it's good. This is good practice. There's a lot of little kinks to this that we're gonna have to work out. But yeah, I'm actually gonna announce that right now to everyone that we're gonna flip the map twice, so everyone will be on the correct side in about 1 minute.
Be Longwell A as well, which means
All right, in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, we are going to flip the map not once but twice, so that you end up on the correct side,
Yep.
and then you're live.
Break, real
And
quick,
then you'd
guys.
have 3 Longwells on the same squad, and if they died, it'd be a tragedy.
So what we're gonna do here, guys? We're gonna in about a minute. We're gonna be flipping the map twice. In about a minute, we'll flip the map twice, so you'll be on the
maybe
right
I'll have to
team.
Consider that, but I've just grown into this, McLaren name, I'm so used to
So
it.
probably in about 30
Three
seconds
more.
here, I'll do the quick double flip. I think the other big adjustment too is you can see how effective the Germans were off the bat. So I really give a lot of credit to the Germans because they were a good 10 minutes ahead of
Yeah,
the US
definitely.
getting into the zone.
Getting that supply truck out, getting their garrisons built quickly. That was
Although
huge.
If they go light vehicles again, we might want to do something.
It's interesting, just tapping in. I can hear the German commander kind of talking about how they just did all those light vehicles. Maybe we want to make an adjustment against it. So it seems like it has the Germans thinking. So maybe that strategy did more than what we could see on the map, because it seems like something they might want to consider adjusting towards.
It's true that in a forest map, like the heavy tanks can't necessarily do everything. Can't control the whole area.
This is true.
So mobility is worth a lot.
All right, and there's the double map flip, so we'll be live. And I'll set up a 45-minute timer.
Major Lombardi is requesting to join my unit. Should I let him? I will. Hey, Major, what's going on? Major, you reading me? Oh, I might have the auto turned off.
Yeah, I won't worry about it. If he has to reach out to us, he can reach out to us in another way.
If you're reading me, Major, I am an admin for this thing. I'm not actually participating. I'm just looking at the map and recording. But I accepted you because you're a major.
All right, so we're live, guys. Good luck. Have fun.
Love you.
Oh, do we end up on the same side somehow? Weird. Hold on, I'll flip.
No. Yes?
I'll flip over. It should be on the other side. I don't know how that happened. The wonders of hell it loose map flipping.
No, it's right. Isn't it?
No, we're both on Profano's team for some reason.
Oh.
I don't know how that happened. Must have just done a weird balancey thing. So I'm gonna flip teams. So I want to be on the US. Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna drop a backup.
No one in Germany is taking the supply truck.
Ooh, that could be a costly
Move
stake.
marker's a good spot, I think, for the Tiger to sit. It's got good vantage point over North Pass.
And it looks like they created another transport truck.
Yeah, I think this is a huge takeaway. You can see how effective
North Pass though.
Yeah, and I guess they're taking the other troop transport south, but you can see that's a tough drive. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. Really, that
transport. Looks like maybe Germans got off on the wrong foot as far as the route for that truck also.
Yeah, all this, it's crazy. It's going to be so nice in Update 9 when they adjust this, because it's, those little things can really make a big difference.
Absolutely. Although the premium on knowing how to drive from A to B is not going to get any smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. The team that's all revved up and ready to go and has a good driver who knows the route is still going to beat the other team.
Very true.
Yeah. And North Pass, real tough to cross that bridge, as we were talking about earlier. And right now, U.S. has perfect control on the left side of the river, west side of the river.
So I see now what they were doing. They had the troop transport went to the Coal Trail, and then they have. But I mean, their troop transport's there. They're about to dump Squad Plus, so you might see a pretty vicious counterattack by the Germans here.
Yeah, but I think the U.S. is ready for them. How are they going to get across that water?
In fairness to the Germans, though, most of the cap zone is on their side of the river, so the U.S. it's on their onus to cross. Ooh, that's going to be a tough OP.
I don't think so.
Last.
I feel like it's about. Yeah, you're right about that. It's about 50-50 the cap zone, but the cover's much better on the left side because you got buildings.
I see.
On the right side, there's some some dragon's teeth there, but it's not much.
I see. Good points.
On the other hand, it does kind of. Oh wow! Yeah, look at that airhead. Oh no, never mind. Not airhead.
Supply drop.
Just supply drop. Bombing run though.
Yeah.
That could be decisive. Early bombing run. Oh, no, it can't be a bombing. It's a strafing run.
Yeah, but you can also see how quickly the Germans got that first garrison up, so they wasted no time. So if any of their guys might have lost their OP, it's fine. We got that garrison established right away. But honestly,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say honestly, both teams are in a pretty good spot. You can see they're all really just focused in on getting into that zone. And they've kind of given up on the flanks, right? So last game they went very flank heavy. This game they're all in. Got 4 or 5 outposts, no garrisons yet, which is a bit of a concern, but 4 or 5 outposts in position.
I predict a stalemate at the river, and we start seeing people trying to move south and get around.
Likely. You can see we actually got troop transport on the Germans, looking like maybe they might try to do that southern flank.
On the Germans?
Oh, sorry, US. My bad.
Yeah. I feel like the U.S. has the advantage because they can drop garrisons in like Fox 5, for example.
Yep.
And be on the proper side of the river. They just need to, do a little airdrop and send one guy across.
One thing I will say is I actually think the layout of the map is favoring the Germans this round because they have that back-to-back strong points. And what that does is it allows you, while you're playing your offense, you're also playing defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas I think the U.S. are going to have a little harder time if this cap does flip to really try to get effective pressure while also playing some defense. So I think the Germans are in a pretty good spot. It's going to be very hard for the U.S. to rout them out of Hill 15, I think is what's going to happen here.
Hill 15 is pretty defensible. Look, by the way, at the German supply drop or the American supply drop about where I said. And that flank that's developing.
Yeah, that could be pretty devastating too, because if you get just a little bit of guys, get your recon squad starting to sweep the back lines, it could be a real harsh fight for the German side.
Meanwhile, Profeno looks smartly like he's setting up some garrisons to help defend Hill 15, which is a pretty defensible position up on a hill like that, but you never want to be surrounded with only one garrison. I noticed no artillery from anybody. That seems like an oversight. It could be really effective.
Yeah, it's tough though with short numbers. 20v20. I think you might lose a little bit of effectiveness in a way when you don't have as many people on the field. Less likely to get hit. But
yeah, that's definitely true. But a few smoke rounds to get across that bridge would come in handy right now, I bet.
Yeah. You can also see the U.S. again is going for heavy armor. So they got that heavy armor on the overlook. And it looks like, let's see, what do we got from your guys? Is that a light vehicle again?
Yeah, it's a recon.
So they go recon again. So they're doubling down on that strategy. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Because I know right now it looks like we're going to see a head-to-head Tiger versus recon, and I know which vehicle I would like to be in that moment.
Recon has a great position, though. I'm sure it's doing all sorts of damage.
Oh, we got some artillery coming in from the German side, or the U.S. side, rather. Sorry. And they got marks.
They know right where the Germans are.
That artillery mark's gonna be devastating. It's gonna be right on top of an outpost. It's gonna be a tough adjustment for the Germans' assault.
Meanwhile, it looks like the Germans are going with a bombing run. Is it this time?
It still looks like a strafe, I believe.
A strafe, yeah. Oh, that garrison in Foxtrot 4 now.
Yep, that's good. It's a good adjustment for them.
Yep, but look, the Germans now have their garrisons north and south of Hill 15. Go work Profeno.
Yep. So they're at least in a good defensible.
They're not going to get bushwhacked the way they did last time.
Yeah, but you can see Echo's starting to make a move here on the U.S. side, and that really could be huge. You know, I love the all-out attack, and it might really prevail, but it's two teams smashing each other right now, and it's going to make this a really interesting fight. But all it's going to take is Echo to get over the line, get that outpost up, and the U.S. is going to be forced to scramble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So great use of a
And
garrison.
Look at Hill 15 is tipped for a second. Now North Pass is tipped for a second.
Whew. So it's always just going to come down to who's going to be in the zone. Who's going to... And
Right,
this is...
here's North Pass.
There it is. A bombing run here could be huge. You just got that recon. It should be around that time, 10 minutes in the game, to see a huge bombing run from Profano. They could take that Tiger, take out that garrison. Ooh, that would be money. We'll have to see what they do. But this is the strategy I've always been a big fan of. Like, let's really load up the box. Because you can see Echo, it looks like they're kind of towing that line. Maybe they're engaging some targets from range. But... you know, unless they're going to push in either to Hill 15 and make it a cap race or stay put, you know, I think that's probably the discussion going on with the U.S. right now. They're trying to figure out, okay, if I'm Echo Squad Lead, we're starting to lose that cap race. Do I really want to start to put pressure on Hill 15? It's a tough call.
I will say that the Tiger won that fight, or the 76 won that fight. And how much would they like to have a Tiger up there instead of nothing?
Yep. It looks like they're bringing up some, what's that, a med. So they're bringing up their Panther to maybe try to contest. Yeah, that's 76.
Which isn't a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the force multiplier difference right now. And it sounds like we got... There's that bombing run. Ooh, that bombing run, can you zoom in on that? Is that bombing run going north to south or east to west? That's going to be...
East to west. It may just kill Enderley if it's not careful. It's not going to get that garrison.
Might take that Tiger out, or the 76 out, which would be huge.
Well, it already dropped, so... I'm guessing that maybe there was a reinforce that got dropped.
Yep, they do have a reinforce.
It looked like the Germans should have taken that for a while.
Oh, and Profano's also throwing down the airhead, so they're really all in. So I actually like that.
I mean,
you throw the bombing run, then the airhead. You know, they're all a little discombobulated from that bombing run, trying to get their everything rebuilt. They might not be having their heads in the skies looking for that airhead.
Yeah, I like it too. My only beef is if it's me, I put that airhead a little further back. Let my squad leaders walk another 100 meters before they pop down their OPs.
True. And it looks like
it's easy to spot.
Very true. But it doesn't look like there's any reaction.
Ironically, no pings or anything.
Ironically, that airhead is directly on top of one of the German garrison or the U.S. garrisons. You know, probably within 25 meters. So the second they spawn, it's gonna get lit up.
Which could be huge because they might just grab that garrison too. If
yeah. So it looks like the U.S. armors again pretty committed to making the southern flank. Probably trying to get some kind of maneuverability on that 76.
All right, airheads up. 30 seconds, and we'll start to see what comes of it.
Oh, but they just had some of the U.S. team just spawned on that garrison right on top of that airhead. So all it's going to take is a few meters.
Yeah, just somebody to notice it.
And that could really spell. So right now...
Could be a bloodbath.
Yeah, so right now we still have 2 squad leaders on the field. So it's going to be interesting who they're sending to that back line. So there's the spawn. We got at least one SL.
Germany making no effort at it right now.
Yep. And the U.S. is completely oblivious to the move. This could be big. Yep. They're all really stacked. So
yeah, I can't see the outpost very well, but it looks like they're all right together.
Yep. And now they're going to start making that move.
Like Lombardy and is that Henson are about to walk up on all their outposts.
Yep. So just a quick zoom in on the fight. You know, given this is where all the action is, we can see they actually have a really nice spread once you actually look into it. But you just know the U.S. is starting to make that engulfment. And here comes it up. Yep, Little just made the call out for that backside attack. So we'll see how the U.S. responds. They're now aware of that coming in.
I would like to see one person contesting Hill 15. You know?
Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Like
Echo?
a recon squad, or just a little something.
Mm-hmm. One guy is all it would take to like take 2 or 3 guys off. Yeah, exactly.
So I like what they did here, right? They still got 2 outposts attacking from the front. They're gonna establish 2 outposts from the rear, and here's an engulfment. And now it really comes down.
They look really strong right now.
Yep. And you can see this armor trying to flank south. It is a chore to try to get there. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they're able to get that armor in the fight. Because already, it's been about 10 minutes just trying to make that maneuver, which is always just a huge challenge in the SCAR, is to get an armor in an effective position. What's crazy, too, is both attacking outposts are actually directly in between the one garrison for the U.S. side.
Oh, you're right.
So it's insane how you watch these matches and it's so obvious for us. When you're on the field, man, it can be really hard to identify where those spawns are.
Oh, it looks like they're locking it down with McLean.
Yeah, McLean making a huge move there.
He's taking it down.
Yeah, that's huge because all it takes is one commander and you're in tough shape. And this is quite the engulfment, and it looks like we got artillery coming in from the German side here as well. So this is big time moves from both teams. And it looks like, is that some cap progress that might be ticking a little bit? Maybe shortly?
It's hard to see. I mean, there's no one in the strong point for the Germans or the U.S. Just like 1 or 2 for the U.S.
Yeah, I'm going to actually switch to the zoom. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Because, other than the armor in the south, which you can see is having a really hard time navigating that river, I know if I'm on the field, I'd be looking to really be begging for that armor here to try to find a way to get across that river and give us some help. And it looks like they're doing it if they can get through the dragon teeth. And that might be a big game changer, getting that Panther in behind North Pass. Because it looks like the armor for the U.S. is
some
down.
cap progress. The Germans.
Yep.
Sounds great.
So the U.S. armor's still up, and it looks like it's starting to respond to that push coming from the rear side.
I'm a little nervous if I'm a Tiger surrounded like that, though.
Absolutely.
Because they're looking down on top of him. You know, that's a slope leading down onto him. I don't see what the OP situation is for the U.S. Have they lost 1 or 2?
Nope, they still got 2 on E3, and then they got 1 got moved up to F3. So
okay, right by the tank.
Yeah. So if you're poor, if you're the poor U.S. right now, you're hanging on for dear life. You got guys like the chaos right now must be quite measurable.
Oh my goodness! And it looks like the tank is maybe RTBing.
Oh,
He's probably been shooting this whole time.
Yeah, I bet he ran out of ammo, which is a critical time to lose your armor support. And it's still, if only we could get that German Panther to get somehow into the.
What's going on down there? Did they just cross the river?
Yeah, they had a.
My goodness.
Yeah, this whole terrain. Yeah, this whole terrain is very challenging. But you throw that Panther into the mix, and that's a game changer right there. Especially now with the 76 falling back. It looks like the 76 hasn't returned all the way to base though. They left the line for a little bit. Maybe it was just getting a little too spicy for them.
I mean, you gotta feel like the clock is ticking on those OPs in E3 for the Germans. You know,
but
they got no Peter back. Zapped. Yeah, so far so good, but shouldn't the Americans be pushing in from the west a little bit just to find those?
Yeah,
they gotta know there.
So I think that's another good point that that might be a good learning point is if I'm the, if I'm the commander right now on the U.S. team, I would definitely want to be having that garrison in that D line. Just give us a garrison, something just to push them from behind and sweep. and that's it. That's easy win. Right now, you're trying to fight off a 2 frontal assault, and give
Yeah.
those guys credits. They're doing a hell of a job. Like they're
Oh,
sending
but meanwhile,
everything.
have a look at Hill 15.
Ooh, and now it becomes the cap race. So I'm gonna actually zoom out a little
See,
bit.
and that's what I was saying. They only needed one guy. What do they have? 2 guys now?
Yeah, but
Oh, they didn't air.
it's gonna be a cap race. So the question is gonna be who's gonna be able to capitalize.
I mean, I think the Hill 15 looks like it's going to fall first.
Yep.
And just like before, now the U.S. has to suck it up and realize what the situation is. Or, excuse me, Germany. They have to suck it up and realize that this isn't happening as excited as they got. And they got to get on top of Hill 15 before it's all over.
Yep. And I think again another good point of learning. You can see, man, that armor made what an effort to get into that position, but by the time it's there, it's might be too little, too late. You can see they made all that effort to get into position on North Pass, and now they're losing the cap on Hill 15. So
I gotta say, like, some garrisons in like the I line would help the Germans a lot right now, and some garrisons in the D line would have helped the US a huge amount.
Yep, that's another great point. Man, that's gotta be tough though if you're the Germans right now.
Yeah.
And
that hurts.
And they have all their garrisons in the position to defend. It doesn't seem like they were able to react.
No, they're not. I mean, like, still more than half the teams at North Pass.
We got a Panther on point.
Roger.
But again, they don't have to sweat Herkin that much. Worst case scenario, there's 4 recon there.
Yeah.
And that's probably not going to happen. So they can just push from North Pass to Hill 15 and see if they can get it back. And if they do that, they can hold on to North Pass in the process. Easier said than done.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what kind of adjustment they'll make. So now that it's capped, so we're at the 24-minute mark. So there is a mercy rule. So if they are able to hold on to it for the next, until minute 9, that will be index.
Important to note that we have to keep track of that every time.
Yep. So we're looking at the 9-minute mark. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's interesting too that we're still fighting out over North Pass when it's not even a zone of control. And you can see both teams are kind of falling into this trap. Neither team has really readjusted to get on to Hill 15.
I wonder what Profeno is telling his guys. Is he saying, like, it's just a recon, let's just clean it up and hang on to North Pass? Bravo, come back and help? Or is he screaming at them to get back and nobody's listening? It's hard to know.
Yeah, and you can see that Profeno just dropped in a bombing run, which probably will sweep out the remaining resistance. And that Panther that put in so much effort to get in the back line has already been destroyed. So, man, that's a tough break there for the armor on the German side.
So 3 infantry zoomed up in a truck, but that's not going to be enough to flip right now because Germany has a garrison now.
Mm-hmm. But they did successfully sweep, so they completely won the fight at North Pass. So there's nothing left for the U.S. on North Pass. But the question is that going to be hindering their ability to now come in and recap Hill 15? I mean,
so if you're in charge for Germany, how many guys do you leave at North Pass to try to hang on to it while you take Hill 15 back?
0. Maybe a recon squad because, I'm a big fan. You gotta win one battle at a time. So let's get it. And it looks like more or less they have 3. Like you have 3 squad leaders sitting on North Pass right now. That's a tough break. Meanwhile, the entire...
Yeah. If Germany takes, like, a strong position in George 3, they can threaten Hill 15 and shift to North Pass pretty quick. But I'm with you. I think you put recon behind North Pass, pushing through it, keeping them honest. But mostly you're trying to take Hill 15 right now.
Yep. And I'm curious what they're doing because you don't have nodes, you don't have anything, and the entire U.S. team is really locked in on Hill 15. So
yeah, I mean Germany has a big advantage here. They can put garrisons like just over 100 meters from Hill 15 that can't be touched. they should be able to, get control there.
Yep.
And that's the one angle it's not so bad approaching Hill 15 from.
Very true. And it looks like Germany's going to try to bring up a light armor, so they got their Lux coming into the fight.
Bring the supply truck up to North.
I think this is going to be great,
There's
though.
one up
This
there.
is going to be quite a
Yeah.
telling video because, both teams are going to be able to review this and see, wow, this is what we went well. This is, maybe we can improve. I mean, right now, if we're keeping track, we spent the last, we've had 3 squad leaders on North Pass for the past, 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe that's a point we can look at and say, hey, how can we adjust this strategy? How can we make that adjustment quicker to put us in a position to succeed? Especially when you only have 45 minutes for each round.
Yeah, speaking of which, what do we got here?
Got 20 minutes or so?
104?
Yep.
What did we say was the 15 minutes?
We can give a 20-minute. Or 15 minutes will be at 1 hour game time.
I'm asking when is our when does Hill
9,
15?
so that's
Okay,
9
good.
minutes left in the game, so 52 minutes.
Okay. 52 minutes.
So at the 15-minute mark, I will also announce that if the Germans if the U.S. is able to hold on for another 10 minutes or so, or I guess at that point it'll be closer to 6 minutes, that will be index. Oh, and here we go. Here's the airhead. I really applaud Profano. Getting 2 airheads in one match is difficult. You have to be kind of on top of it. You got to be doing it quick because you run out of those resources really fast. And you can see he probably had to strangle himself from other resources to really be able to establish that airhead.
Well, and it's not 50v50, so people are dying less, and you're going to get a little more manpower to work with.
True. And you can see, I like what the Lux is doing here, because they're seeing the airhead, they're going to push with that infantry onto that airhead, and it looks like we got a rather large redeploy coming up to that airhead. So maybe that Lux plus that infantry will be enough to push them out. On the flip side, though, I guess if I'm looking at it from a map perspective, it's almost like you're already able to push from your zone so close. It's...
Well, I mean, 2 angles of attack is not a problem,
Yeah, and they've done that so well. I mean, I give so much credit to the Germans. They put themselves in a position to succeed. They've putting pressure on all sides. It's just that stubbornness of the U.S. defense is quite impressive. I think this really is a great showcase of just both amazing teams from the 7th just really putting in their best effort out there.
That Lux is right about to drive up on the garrison for the Germans in G5.
So let's
I wonder if they're going to see it.
Yeah. So in about 2 minutes, we'll announce that we are at the 15-minute mark, and that will be at the 15-minute mark. There'll be 6 minutes left to capture Hill 15 before the Mercy Rule.
Okay.
Well, and the pressure's been established on all sides, so we'll see what the Germans are able to do.
And the U.S. is sitting tight, or the Germans are sitting tight on North Pass. So if.
And this is why was the spirit of the rules, right? It's actually really hard to hold a point. So what this does is it allows one team that's been just being able to just get that one step ahead of the other team. Now it really gives a chance for that one team that's been having a little bit of trouble this whole game to make a huge impact. To really walk away and say, hey, we got to win.
Mm-hmm. Look how the U.S. is all stacked up to keep Germany out from the east.
I think Profano bamboozled them quite good because there's literally nothing that they're defending against.
Yeah, and the airdrop and everything.
If ever there was a time where...
Figuring it out right now.
Yeah. So they're seeing the north, but they're still not really seeing that airdrop come in. But somehow they have an outpost that hasn't been walked over yet, which is pretty impressive too. I think one other point, though, of improvement we could think about, it looks like, although we got that airhead, it doesn't look like we've been able to establish much in the way of OPs. We still have Fox and Hotel in the north, but other than Echo, there's a pretty strong lack of OPs from that
Mhm.
airhead, so that pressure is not going to be able to be established long
Well,
term.
there's German OPs in the or U.S. OPs in the way there, so I'm thinking maybe a couple of them got burned.
Could be. Oh, and there goes the Hill 15 garrison. All right, I'm gonna announce we got
That's
15 minutes. All right,
same.
Command, we need more supplies. We need more supplies coming in. On
15
Hill
minutes.
15.
We got 15 minutes. And Mercy Rule kicks in 6 minutes, so you guys are going to want to take Hill 15 soon.
What up?
15-minute warning, guys. 15 minutes. You will be declared the winners if you're able to hold on to Hill 15 for another 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Is that event still going on?
Yeah, we're adminning it right now.
Is there room for me to hop in, or is it too late?
Rob, you want to field that?
Yeah. Just check the chat, bro. Alright, cool. So this is what's good, because when we do this for real, we're gonna be in our own Discord where no one can bug us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Germany didn't really put it together quite to make that push, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
But Easy and Charlie are still up. If they can get OPs up, they're still in it.
Yeah, but it looks like the U.S. was able to react with force. So that northern attack, they've had 2 outposts up for quite some time. They just haven't quite been able to stretch it.
Are those both recon? No. One of them is recon.
Hmm.
And I bet they're doing good work. That's a great place for a sniper. The question is, can Benell and company make
so
something?
I gotta pull someone back. Hold on. Barry, you got. Oh, never mind, Barry. You're fine. You're recon. So you want to just give a heads up that it's a recon unit on Hurtgen, so that is fair game.
Be advised, it is a recon unit currently threatening Hurtgen, which makes it fair game. So you will have to defend against that recon unit. I'm guessing people didn't fully grok that rule, and there's going to be some bent feelings around that.
But that's why we do it, right? So we're gonna be really good at the rules at this point, and it's also important too because you can see, it's really fun to be commentating. But when you get to this point, it starts to put a little more stress on the admins to really pay attention. And I think the good thing about this 15-minute rule is that it kind of helps us out a little bit because we can say, okay, we're not making the progress, or we don't have to really be policing super hard for that long.
It'll be interesting to hear what people have to say about this rule if it ends up being decisive, because you and I kind of went back and forth about whether that would be a mercy or a bummer, and we're going to probably hear some feelings about that one way or the other.
But in fairness, so we're going to end the round about 9 minutes early, but the question is going to be, okay, given what's happened, and now that the establishment's on Hill 15, is 9 minutes really going to make or break? Not to mention, it doesn't seem like they're making any effort to really defend Hurtgen. Or actually, there we go. We got Profano getting back there, so they'll hold it. But, we got 3 minutes until the index.
All right, all my Cav brothers I've been commenting on, I want to say I love you. You're all doing a great job. It's a lot easier to stare at your map here and have opinions than it is to be down there.
So, we got about 3 minutes.
Light tank is coming back to sort that out too. And Recon has no answer for that.
So I'm going to announce.
Roger, it is a truck.
Oh,
So we'll have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you're able to hold Hill 15, you will have won by mercy rule. So keep up the good work. Well done to your side.
About 2 minutes until the mercy rule kicks in. You guys got to start capping Hill 15 if you can make it happen. Good luck.
So at the conclusion, what we'll have you do, Mix, is you can drop down to, let's see, even on Profano's side. So if you want to drop down, just let them know to conduct their AAR. I won't even flip the map, or maybe I'll flip them. Nah, I won't even flip the map. Just have them do their AAR. And then we'll do the leadership hot wash and get everyone out of here before it's too late.
All right. Yeah, I'll dip out here in a few minutes. I'm going to just quick look at everybody's stats.
Yeah. I mean, we still got a minute
recorded.
and a half, but it's more or less been decided, right? There's not enough time for them to really
Frank, if you're shooting close to Hill 15,
Make a-
that's friendlies.
make a
Make
change.
a move. All right. I'm going to dip out.
We
real
still
quick
have
then.
1 minute, so we'll give them 1 minute and then we'll be good.
Okay.
And then I'll stop the recording and we'll go. And you know what? I like this. I think it's gonna be a lot of learning. We'll be playing.
Yeah, me too.
We have set up to do a match against HLL Tango next week, who's a very good, very competitive Latino clan that we've had some great matches with. I think they've one-upped us a couple times, so it'd be cool to see what kind of fight we can put in against them on this kind of strategy, and also just kind of be able to spectate to see what they do, and they can see what we do, and hopefully both teams can walk away feeling satisfied, and also kind of learning a little bit about themselves and maybe some other strategies that could be effective. So
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's no big clan v clan matches that are recorded in this format. I've only ever seen the HLLTC 18v18.
Yeah.
So this would be really valuable stuff to see.
Yeah, and the goal for this tournament is to allow all clans who participate to have that kind of media exposure. So hopefully it'll help engage the community, and people can find the kind of HLL community that fits them, and everyone can also kind of showcase their strategies and their ways of being successful. So that's Index. So I'm gonna hold the recording. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll have another one of these hopefully up for next week.